Hey, boos. Hey, it is your girl, the Rising Phoenix Empath, coming at you from Lavinity Springs Apothecary. That's right, this is my business page, guys. So please like and subscribe to my business page, Lavinity Springs Apothecary. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. And today I wanted to jump on real quick and I wanted to give you a quick message on kidney health, right? Kidney health is very important to me as I had two parents that suffered from kidney failure and they both were transplantees. So, I really got a chance to get a front eye bird's view of what it looks like to have kidney failure, how your life is impacted. And I took it upon myself to do my own research and try to avoid such things, right? So I wanted to talk to you about kidney health today. And I wanted to talk to you about your physicals. I know that we go yearly for our physicals and, we get the blood work done. And lots of us do this. We ask the doctor about the blood work and they say, oh, everything's fine. And we leave it at that. We don't even ask to see the blood work. We don't ask for numbers. We don't ask for specifics. And I really want you guys to get intentional, right, about making your health, right, a collaborative affair between you and your doctor, you and your physicians, right? Because you have a say in your health, right? And you don't want to put, the responsibility on anybody else other than yourself when something's wrong. Okay. Now, let me tell you about kidney health with that yearly physical, the metabolic panel. One of those tests is called an EGFR. It's called an estimated glomerular filtration rate, and I hope I'm saying that right. It is glomer, glomerular filtration rate, EGFR. I know I just hatched that, so please forgive me. I'm sorry. But the EGFR is what it'll be called on your blood work test. You need to pay attention to that number, right? Because it gives you a bird's eye view of what your kidney function is looking like. And doctors in today, in 2024, are not really trained to tell you that anything's wrong with that EGFR until you hit below 59. Okay. And you say why, and I'll say this is why. Because your kidneys are functioning fine if they're functioning at 50%. Okay. And this is just modern medicine, right? They're trained not to tell you that there's a real issue until you hit below 60. Okay. And the issue with that is, while 60 doesn't seem like a bad number at all, right? Pretty high. Okay. Not when it's 60 out of 120. That number should be at 120 with perfect kidney function. So if your doctor alerts you to the fact that that number is below 60, right? Only when you get to 60, that means for a long period of time, you've been functioning at about 50% of kidney function, which means that, you've lost about 50% of your kidney function. Right now, let me be clear that the EGFR changes on the regular basis, changes on the daily basis. So if you took a test, it might be 59 today, 72 tomorrow. It just depends on a lot of things, but it's a good indication of where you are on the spectrum as far as your kidney function is concerned. And the doctors do go by this to be alerted if there's an issue. So the problem with doctors really not telling you that there's an issue until you hit below the 60 mark is, as I said, the highest you can get on this test is 120. And I'll share, just some of my personal experiences with this. I took, my yearly, and my EGFR was at 83, which is a pretty high number. So I didn't worry about it until I started to do my own research. And my doctor said, "Oh, your kidneys look fine. They look good." Until I started to do my own research. And then when I engaged my doctor, he said yes. So my EGFR was 83. And I knew that the number should be 120. I didn't know immediately. I went home, did research, realized it, and then on my next doctor's visit, I said something to my doctor about it because I go pretty much every 3 months, right? And so the doctor, I said to him, you know, I see I'm still in the early 80s with my EGFR. So am I in kidney failure? And his response was, that's a good question. His response was like, actually, you're in very early stages. But it took me asking him that question. And I want you to understand that more than half the population is already in kidney failure and you don't know it. Okay? So when I realized that this could be the case, I said, okay, I started making adjustments to my diet. I stopped eating I stopped eating sugar for a period of time. I stopped eating bread, all carbs for a period of time. Okay, I modified my diet to a lot of fruits, a lot of veggies, and I, of course, as always, I always drink a lot of herbs. And when I went back after making those modifications, my kidney function was at 107. So I say that to say that if you know early on that you're at an 83, and what that really means is 83 again sounds like a high number, but what 83 means for the EGFR is it means that you've already lost about 30% of your kidney function. Okay? And it may be temporary, but it could be permanent. So it's important that when you realize that number is below 90, that you start making dietary changes and that you start asking your doctor some things that you could do to bring that number up. Because as you may or may not know, kidney disease, CKD, chronic kidney disease, is the 9th leading cause of death in the United States. Right? And there's so many of us, when we hit the age of 60, end up on dialysis. And I'm trying to prevent that. So I'm telling you, when you go for your physical, pay attention to that EGFR. If it hits below 90, start having conversations with your doctor. I want to be very clear. If you hit 90, you are in very early stage 1 of kidney failure. If you're in the 80s, you're in very early stage 2 of kidney failure. And it's so early that the doctors don't even think it's worth saying anything. But in my opinion, it's imperative for them to say something early so that you could implement changes today. When I went back three months later, my kidney function was at 107. So it went from functioning at about my kidneys were functioning at about 70%, which is really good, right? But 30% loss is a lot of kidney loss for you to be in the dark about and for you not to know about. And so I wanted to jump on and I want to tell you guys to pay attention to that number. Okay, make dietary changes. And I also wanted to give you some I wanted to give you some herbs that are good for the kidneys. Okay, such herbs are nettle is excellent for kidney health. Okay, bladderwrack is excellent for kidney health. I have a whole tea blend. Hold on. Oh, okay. Fenugreek and alfalfa are excellent for kidney health. And some of these things, cinnamon, excellent for kidney health. Okay, I have a tea blend. It's called Vanquishing Diabetes, and I'm going to actually create a TikTok shop, and you guys can purchase this if you like, and it's for kidney and liver health and function. I drink it every day. It is also something that I included in my regimen when I wanted to bring my EGFR up. Work like a dream. I'm now at 107 kidney function out of 120. If you hit below that 90 mark, it's not too late. Start doing something today. Make dietary changes and drink your herbs. Make intentional decisions because you don't have to end up on dialysis. I hope this video was helpful. Signing out from Lavinity Springs Apothecary. Love you guys.